چشمه امید تو ای صبح فروردین ای تکیه‌گاه آخرین ای خود سرباز زمین جان جهان ایران زمین ای در نگاهم خلوتم ای پرچمت ما را کفن دور از تو بادا اهل من ایران من ایران من ایران من ایران من ای در نگاهم خلوتم ای پرچمت ما را کفن دور از تو بادا اهل من ایران من ای داغ دیده باز بوی بر خود سمرقندت کشم صدها نفر ای مادرم دیدیت کم بشم از خون سربازان تو گلگون شده رویت وطن ای سرو سبز بی خزان ای مهر تو در جهان وطن ای مادرم ایران زمین آغاز تو پایان تو بر دشت من باران تو در چشم من تابان تویی ایران من ایران من آن مهر جاویدان تویی ای در رگانم خون وطن ای پرچمت ما را کفن دور از تو بادا اهل من ایران من ایران من ایران من ایران من ای در رگانم خون وطن ای پرچمت ما را کفن دور از تو بادا ایران من ایران من
Can you guys hear me? Yes! What an amazing crowd. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. This is amazing. My name is Patty Asai, and I am a member of the Iranian Women Foundation. And on behalf of the Iranian Women Foundation, we want to thank each and every one of you for coming here in solidarity and standing with us to fight for the freedom of women in Iran. Yes. Woo! We are here because we want the world to know that we condemn the brutal murder of Mahsa Amini and many others who have fought for freedoms around the world. And we also condemn the weaponizing of the hijab to suppress, oppress, beat, and murder women all around the world, not just in Iran. To the women of Iran, we see you, we hear you, we feel you, and we will stand with you until your basic human rights are restored. We have an incredible lineup of speakers, and our first speaker is really responsible for this amazing gathering. She is the Mayor Pro Tem of West Hollywood, Sepi Shyne. Come on.
On behalf of the City of West Hollywood, I would like Mariam Khosravani, President of Iranian American Women's Foundation, to come up here with me, please. certificate of recognition presented on behalf of the West Hollywood City Council to Iranian American Women Foundation in recognition of organizing the candlelight vigil in honor of Mahsa Amini. The vigil in honor of Mahsa Amini, the 22-year-old woman who died in police custody in Iran, represents IAWF's solidarity with women in Iran and the Iranian women participating in the movement for women's rights and freedom. The City of West Hollywood commends IAWF members for bringing awareness to Mahsa Amini's death and for their dedication to supporting Iranian women all over the globe. Thank you.
What's her name? Mahsa Amini. What's her name? Mahsa Amini. What's her name? Mahsa Amini.
اولا درود به همه هموطن‌ها که امروز اینجا اومدن. خیلی ممنون که اومدین اینجا. I want everyone to first repeat after me. Woman. Woman. Life. Life. Freedom. Freedom. Woman. Woman. Life. Life. Freedom. Freedom. Thank you to IAWF, our city staff, for organizing this vigil. I want to acknowledge the city officials who are here today. My colleagues, council members John D'Amico and John Erickson, City Council member Lindsay Horvath and Mayor Meister could not be here, but they send their support. I am a proud Iranian woman, a Muslim and a lesbian. I was born in Mashhad and spent most of my 5 years in Iran, in Tehran. The revolution happened when I was 2 years old, and we fled Iran when I was 5 to come to the States. If we had not escaped Iran, I would be killed for being a strong, outspoken woman, for being a lesbian, and for refusing to be anyone else but me. Like many Iranian families in the diaspora, we left everything, including many family members, as well as parts of our hearts, behind for the promise of freedom. Many here who are out and LGBTQ, Baha'i, Jewish, or simply vocal critics of the Islamic regime cannot go back to our homeland because of the threat of death just for who we are. We in West Hollywood, which is a majority LGBTQ city and a nightlife destination, we have so much freedom and self-expression and the freedom to be ourselves, and we are celebrated for it. We were the first pro-choice city in America, and we are a sanctuary city. Even in the face of our own country here in America trying to turn the clock back on choice, on women's choice, West Hollywood stands strongly for choice. We welcome you. We welcome all of you, whoever you are and however you wish to love and however you wish to be to our city. Before the revolution, Iranian women had a lot of freedom. Freedom what we could wear without threat of violence. Freedom to go out dancing. Freedom to drink. Freedom of choice in so many areas. The Islamic regime took that choice away from women 43 years ago, almost in an instant. I want you all to think about the words, woman, life, freedom. Really, really think about what that means. Without women, there is not life for anyone. We women provide life, and in doing so, we provide the freedom to live. And we provide the experience of what it means to live in these bodies on this earth. The freedom of choice. All women deserve choice. What is happening in Iran is one of the biggest women's rights movements in our history. In the face of literal death and so much danger, our Iranian women are standing up for their choice. Iranian women of all faiths, religions, ethnic culture, sexual orientations, or gender identities are all standing up and fighting for choice. And many men are standing up with the women for choice in Iran. They're fighting for women's rights, and the right to choice is not just for women. This fight for women's choice is about the fight for freedom for all. In America, We are on the brink of losing our democracy. Just like when the Islamic Revolution and the Islamic regime took away women's choice. This is happening throughout the world. It is a fight for women, it is a fight for LGBTQ rights, and the fight for choice. This is the time to stand up and give our voices to the voiceless. This is the time to do that. The government has shut down the internet, and so many people have been imprisoned and killed for standing up for choice. What we need from you is to keep giving voice to what is happening in Iran, because your voice will be their courage to keep fighting for choice and freedom. Mahsa Amini did not have a choice, so we must be her voice. Repeat with me. Mahsa Amini did not have a choice, so we must be her voice. Repeat with me. Mahsa Amini did not have a choice, so we must be her voice. Mahsa Amini did not have a choice, so we must be her voice. Thank you.
Wow, incredible. Thank you so much. That was very empowering. Next, we have another amazing speaker, Miss Lili Bosse. She is the mayor of Beverly Hills.
Thank you. Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me? No. That's why. Okay.
Let's see.
Is it on now? Now it's
It
on.
should be. Wait until it turns green. Okay.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Louder.
I can speak very loud because I am very proud to be here today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for putting this on today. And thank you to West Hollywood, our neighbor. But I have a lot to say. I am not Iranian by blood, but my heart, my soul, my fiber of my being has always felt the connection with all of you. And it cannot be described in words, but it is who I am to the core of my being. We are standing here today for the mothers, for the grandmothers, for the generations that came before us, those who had no voice. And as was said, we are the voice of the voiceless. And we must stand up, and we must speak out, and we must never be afraid.
Bravo.
And we must never, ever give up. I want people around the world, every race, every religion, every culture, to rise together, because that is how we're going to change humanity. And that is what we are going to do now. It's going to be around the world, and it is beginning here and going everywhere, finally. Beverly Hills as a neighbor. Tonight, our city hall will be lit up with these words: justice for Mahsa Amini, throughout the weekend. We want the world to know that we are united. We are united for change, and we will never stop until human rights, humanity, dignity, women's rights is changed in Iran and around the world. And we will never stop until that happens, and never give up. You have my word, you have my heart, you have my soul, and never, ever will we ever give up. Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. While we're on the Beverly Hills track, we now have the councilwoman for Beverly Hills, Miss Sharon Nazarian.
Sharona. My apologies. Go, Sharona.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. A huge thank you to the Iranian Women's Foundation for putting this afternoon together, and to my friend Sepi, Shyne, and all the brave men and women who are standing here today. I thank you for showing up. I want to start off by reading a letter that was sent to me by a young lady in Iran to give you an idea of what they are experiencing every day. The Iranian people need your help. Iranian girls are being arrested, beaten, robbed, and even killed by the moral security police for not wearing hijab. Mahsa Amini was a 22-year-old girl who was taken to the Morality Security Police Center after being arrested by the Irshad Patrol and suffered a concussion due to the police hitting her on the head. She went into a coma, and subsequently she died as a result of her injuries. We cannot walk easily in the streets due to fear of the police. When we want to leave the house, we have to hug our parents for the last time because we don't know if we will return home alive or dead. In any country, when a crime occurs, people seek help from the police. But in our country, we are afraid of the police. Hijab law is not human law. Rather, it is a complete oppression of freedom and human rights. Killing girls because they have bad hijab is even worse. When we go to the streets to protest, they shoot us with guns. We need your help to bring our voice to the people of the world and stop the oppression. My name is Sharona Nazarian. I'm Sharona Nazarian, and I am an immigrant to the United States from Iran, and I am a Jew. To me, this is not a religious or cultural matter, but rather a human rights issue. As a mother, as a daughter, as a woman, this is appalling to me. Blatant attacks of violence on women, on girls. Who is there to protect them? 50% of the population is women, and they are being treated like second-class citizens. They cannot celebrate their femininity. They cannot dance, sing, or even show their hair. If they get a divorce, they lose custody of their child. All the beauty that a woman brings to this world is seen as immoral or taken away. This is like a time warp. We live in 2022, yet such despicable behavior exists. Women are using the only weapon they have to fight back, changing who they are by cutting their hair and using their bodies as shields. It's a form of self-mutilation. This is their last chance for hope. They're using their bodies, and it's all they have. They need our help. When an unarmed civilian is shot, we should be outraged. There are inhumane acts, and we need to come together as a global society to end such atrocious acts of violence. Friends, I want to share with you what is happening. The Iranian people are not the Islamic Republic. The Iranian people do not set the policies in Iran. And they are being victimized. The internet has been shut down. They cannot communicate, and they need our help. My family fled Iran to avoid persecution. The last few days have been extremely emotional. A lot of traumatic feelings are coming back of when ignorant people would call 6-year-old me a terrorist. Well, my friends, times have changed. It's time to stand up and speak out. No one was there to protect us 43 years ago. But we now have a voice. We need to stand up against inhumane acts and injustice of all forms. We, as the City Council of Beverly Hills, were among the first elected officials to officially have a moment of silence in honor and memory of Mahsa.
Yay, Beverly Hills!
We are a unified City Council. We have lit up our city lights and drawn our flags at half-staff in solidarity with the women of Iran. And we are working towards creating a resolution to condemn these acts of violence against these innocent civilians. I am proud of our mayor and my colleagues for taking action. Now, my friends, yes. Now, my friends, I want to tell you, knowledge is power. And the more people understand what is happening, the more we can unite and bring a voice to those that don't have one. The people of Iran are not asking for anything but to live freely. I invite you, I ask you, I implore you, please, it's our responsibility to speak up and to take action now. Thank you so much.
Huge round of applause. Amazing, amazing, incredible. Thank you, Sharona. Our next speaker is truly the reason we're all here. She is the founder of the Iranian Women Foundation, the most inspirational, strong, hardworking woman that I know, Miss Mariam Khosravani.
Oh, I need some space here. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you say and spell your name first?
Mariam Khosravani, Mariam Khosravani, Khosravani. You can spell my name. To my Iranian and non-Iranian friends, we need to take our emotion and turn it into action. We need to take it to action because we need to help our brave and courageous sisters in Iran. We want to let them know that they are not alone. It is heartbreaking to know that women on the other side of the world in our motherland are living under such a harsh conditions. But again, they are not alone. The great challenge at this time for us who are here is to give our voice to those women whose challenges go unnoticed and their voice go unheard. We will make sure the whole world hears their voices, see their faces, and acts on their behalf. Those of us who have the opportunity to be here tonight have the responsibility to speak for those who cannot.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the history of women has been a history of silence. But not now, and definitely not in Iran no more. There are some who wonder whether the lives of women and girls in Iran matter to non-Iranians. That's a question we keep hearing. It matters. It matters because they are humans. It matters because they are part of our larger society, this planet, and it matters because we all care.
Yes.
Yes.
IAW Foundation stands tall in support of women in Iran and all over the world who are fighting for their rights. I salute the bravery of Iranian women, شیرزنان ایران زمین. Maybe for the first time, the world is watching and listening.
Yes.
Now, if you allow me, I'm going to say a few words in Farsi, message for our sisters in Iran. زنان ایرانی، شیرزنان ایرانی، نه فقط ما در اینجا در امشب در این شهر، بلکه میلیون ها نفر در سراسر دنیا ایستادن تا پیام شما رو به کسانی که تا حالا نشنیده بودن پیامتون رو برسونن. تنها نیستید، این دفعه دیگه تنها نیستید، ما همه با شماییم.
Thank you, Mariam. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is an indication that it matters not only to Iranians that women are free, but it matters to everyone, because if we're not all free, none of us are free. So I want to introduce Sabra Williams. She's an actor, she's a director, and a social justice activist. Sabra.
Wow. Thank you, Mariam. That was follow that. So my name is Sabra Williams, S-A-B-R-A, Williams. My name is a Hebrew word and an Arabic word. I am Jewish by birth. I'm a world citizen. I'm an immigrant. I am a black mixed woman. And I'm here today. Why am I here? Right? I'm not from Iran. I have never even been to Iran. I'm not an expert. I am a woman. I'm an immigrant, an activist. I'm an artist. And I am part of the global majority.
Go, Sabra!
So I am here for Mahsa Amini.
Yes! Yes!
I am here for Sandra Bland and Breonna Taylor.
Yes!
I am here for Zara Siddiqui Hamadani.
Yes!
Elam Chubda, 2 women who are currently under sentence of death in Iran because they are LGBTQ. And I'm there for all of them. I'm there for all of those killed in Iran in a pathetic display of cowardice. We are not separate. We are world citizens, each of us. It's our collective power that makes change. It pulls out history by the roots. So what is happening in Iran is a protest against state violence against women and LGBTQ people and the right to choose how we live. That is a universal struggle. Choice is power, and that's what those who are clinging to power by their fingertips are most afraid of. This struggle demands courage and consistency. And I am standing here today because so many of you marched with us in 2020. However, I see too many times that when the fire dims, people step back. So who of you are here for the long run? For Iran. For us. For all oppressed people. I'm just going to ask you to take a minute to look around. Look at our village. Look at the people who are here who are fighting with us, who are fighting across the world with us. And I just invite you to let's just take one unified breath, thinking about the women in Iran who are risking their lives every day, and the people across the world who are doing the same. Let's take one unified breath. In Iran, there is an uprising. If people stand by at this time, they enable and strengthen the iron grip. In this country, we have an election looming. If you are if you stand by, you are complicit in what happens next. As people have said today, if we go in the direction of Iran and we don't stand up and take action to stop it, we are as bad as they are. There are no sidelines at this turning point in history. So I have a call to action for you. I always like to end with a call to action. We have work to do as Americans as well. It's our responsibility as people who live here on Turtle Island, the land of indigenous people, the land of a genocide that is also known as America. Our responsibility is to break down the barriers of disinformation and intentional, systemic lack of decent world news and an education that is based on American exceptionalism. Please, especially at times of uprisings, search out fact-checked and sourced world news. And I am here to give you any advice or examples if you want. It's our most important resource at this moment of change, because if we move based on disinformation, we can't win. And I just want to finish by saying the tides of injustice has always, throughout history, been turned by the few for the many. You are the few. Keep fighting, keep developing vision. Above all, keep taking action. I'm so humbled to be included here today, and I'm so grateful to the Iranian people for being so inclusive and having the vision to include somebody like me today, and the people that I represent, my people, as you are all my people. So, merci, and keep fighting!
Thank you so much, Sabra. Our next speaker is an amazing author, journalist, and activist, Ms. Homa Sarjan.
In the name of Iran, for whose freedom and honor our hearts beat every day, and in the name of Iranian people, the proud bearer of Woman, Life, Freedom slogan. Today we are witnessing a most unique kind of revolution, a revolution led by fearless women inside Iran, demanding their rights, supported by proud and enlightened men of the same nation marching by their side. I have come here today to be the voice of those devastated and heartbroken mothers, fathers, and families mourning the tragic loss of their flesh and blood. Innocent youths whose lives have been cut all too short by the unspeakable inhumanity of government forces. Forces who use all their might to beat the children of Iran with relentless savagery, to detain them, to torture them, and to make them disappear without a trace, with impunity and the full protection of the government. They answer to no one for their crimes. I have come here today to be the voice of voiceless inside Iran, cut off from all means of communication with the outside world. Those voiceless writers, artists, minorities of all kinds, whether sexual, tribal, regional, religious, or intellectuals, who have been ruthlessly persecuted, murdered, jailed, tortured, or pressured into transparently false public confessions, and thereby humiliated by this deplorable and oppressive regime for over 40 years, simply for having different beliefs, for expressing different views, or just for being different in any way. I have come here to ask President Biden and his administration President Biden and his administration not to negotiate with this regime. They are a bunch of liars and traitors who, with no doubt, will use any money they get to purchase more arms and kill more Iranian innocent people. Mr. President, you need to take stronger action and stand. Human rights must be your priority. Sanction is necessary, but not enough. We, the Iranian Americans, stand together here as the voice of our fellow freedom fighters in Iran who are looking at the United States of America and its freedom-lover citizens, as well as people of the world and leaders of all nations, for their support. Oh my God. We want to draw the attention of this self-propelled revolution of Iranian women and to raise awareness about the oppression they endured day in and day out. An oppression that today has grown even more ruthless than it has been for the past 40 plus years. I have come here today to voice my complaint against the United Nations. An institution that has not only failed to bar entry to a known murderer named Ebrahim Raisi, presently hiding under the title of the President of the Islamic Republic, but one that has further given him a global podium by inviting him to speak before the UN General Assembly. Shame on United Nations. United Nations, the very same institution that has constantly failed for decades even to assemble a team of delegates to investigate the conditions of political and ideological prisoners who have been tortured, unjustly imprisoned, and regularly murdered by the authorities of the Islamic Republic year after year after endless year. We all come here today to stand united in echoing the voice of all courageous and tireless Iranians inside and outside Iran, whose only wish is to definitely downfall of the Islamic Republic regime and the establishment of democracy, freedom, justice, and equal rights for all citizens of Iran with a national constitution founded on the mandate of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I have come here today to say loudly and clearly that the people of Iran have long been more than patient, and that today their patience have run out with this autocratic, self-serving, fanatic, and barbaric regime. The overthrow of this government is the ultimate goal of all of us, inside and outside Iran. And I am using the full force of my voice and my pen, the only sword I bear, to make sure that their messages reach the eyes and ears of every last person on earth. And finally, I have come here to say that I am all too aware of the long and unpredictable road that stands between the people of Iran and their ultimate goal. Yet, I know beyond doubt that neither those Iranians inside Iran nor those abroad will rest until this swell of uprisings finally and definitely topples the regime. And democracy, liberation of women from mandatory hijab, freedom of speech, freedom of choice, freedom of thought, and separation of religion and state. And equality for all in the eyes of the law. Rule over our motherland. That day is not far. That day is not far. Iran, stand strong as we all stand for you and with you and by you. Long live Iran, women, life, freedom. Please join me to say that name. Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. We are all Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the chant. Thank you. Yes, we can chant while we're walking. No. This is a peaceful protest. This is a peaceful protest. This is a peaceful protest. And anyone that's not peaceful can leave. This is a peaceful protest. Understand?
Yes!
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, our next speaker is a former U.S. diplomat, Lili Amiri.
If this show of force does not show you what an Iranian woman is all about.
A little bit louder, Fatima.
Okay, so can you hear me? Is this close enough to my mouth?
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, Hi, Ms. Aisha. I wanted to tell you, as somebody who has represented the United States at the United Nations, oftentimes the United Nations does not stand up to its mission. And it's Eleanor Roosevelt who is alive today. Not only would she have spoken up for the people of Iran, but she certainly would have had a lot of harsh words in her nice diplomatic way for the United Nations. Thank you for raising that. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank the Iranian American Women's Foundation and its incredibly tireless leader, Mariam Khosravani, where are you? And its board for getting all of us here today so that we can get a few things off of our chests. I also want to thank the media who's present here today, because it's all of you, ladies and gentlemen, that are elevating the voice of all the women of Iran and all the people of Iran that are voiceless right now. So we greatly appreciate you being here. I actually want to start out by making a very dramatic statement that I don't think I would have made 5 years ago. When a society is in upheaval, oftentimes they come for women's rights first.